Hi, my name's Dave Pepper. I had a business a number of years ago, and I'm just about to get back on my feet to go again with my next business in the coming year or so. And what's it like to fail? What does it feel like? It feels really bad on the way down, and it's an epically bad feeling. But the inspiration you have in yourself is if you can look back and find all the things that you were able to do within that.
Tell us about your original business, Dave. What was the original business?
It was a business to customise games consoles. I took the concept of doing one-off consoles and then I bridged that into a product that could snap on to the games consoles themselves. It was basically like taking phone covers but doing it for Xboxes. They were to be a creative toy where people could paint them, iterate on them and make them their own as well.
Okay, and how close did you come to success?
Right there, right on the door. We were on RTE. We were in the Late Late Toy Show.
These are like the biggest TV in Ireland.
The biggest TV, the biggest event in Ireland for a young product to get its launch.
What age were you?
I was 29, no 30. I just turned 30, yeah. And yeah, we were really excited, sitting there with a friend, very quiet, calming ourselves. And the product was about to go live. It was on the stage. And it was there for almost 5 minutes and they never talked about it. So Ryan Tuberty never turned around and pointed and discussed, like they had told, the producers had been, telling us this is it, be ready, big influx, big it. And that was ultimately, among other things, one of the major factors where the company wasn't going to be able to continue. Without sales, you're not a business. And our biggest push for mass sales was there, and it didn't happen.
Okay, and did that start a decline then in terms of energy momentum, where you just decided to?
You actually scramble. It becomes very messy. It depends, because you've so many things going on at one time. It starts to get very messy, and you're scrambling to try and see what you can do. Christmas is around the corner. You're not going to be able to get the orders. The numbers aren't there. You're not in shops. This is a time where you've got to, what do you do? And it's a very scary place to be.
What did you do?
We walked around it for quite a while, seeing if we could do it, but ultimately we needed to raise a lot more capital. And to do a consumer product, we were told very late in the day, getting advice the wrong way around for us, and that was the whole thing. Everything was rushed, but you need 7 figures. You really do need strong capital, and for us, we were trying to do it on a very low budget, and to make that happen in that kind of environment is difficult, and you need traction. So ultimately, when we went for things like the Late Late House Show, when it didn't track, you can't do it.
So did you decide to call it a day then?
Yeah, not long after that.
Well, what did you do then since then?
Stared at a wall.
Okay.
I stared at a wall.
Was it bleak?
Bleak, yeah. It was like a nervous breakdown and then depression. Yeah, for everything. I bet my whole life on it. I'd bet everything. I hadn't seen friends, family, relationships. Those don't come into it. They're going to die. If they're not dead already, you're about to kill them. Okay. And it's, ultimately as an entrepreneur, they're your actions.
Okay. So over the last couple of years, the kind of kindling in the fire has become reignited. You've new ideas. Your energy's back.
It's your nature. You got to get back on your feet. You got to stabilize things and build something again.
And how do you get new ideas?
They're everywhere. Ideas are 10 a penny, but ideas are silly. Mine was an idea in many senses, and I would actually go for, if you're going to build anything, build a business. Make sure that it can make money and do it quickly. Fail, try it. Make sure that you can stress test it very quickly. If it doesn't work, get out of Dodge and go for a new one, because the ideas are there. If it's in you to do it, you'll be able to do it.
Okay, so you feel like you've some lessons learned, obviously.
Every single lesson you could possibly learn, I did all of the wrong things in every wrong direction for a number of years. So yeah, the hard way is definitely the way I did it. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend why.
But isn't this such a typical story? Like, people just talk about failure being the best university.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the problem is we don't actually get to speak to other entrepreneurs who are maybe successful in one sense when they've made it, to actually discuss it with them, because really the person who understands is the person who's gone through it in any situation. You can relate to somebody. And with entrepreneurship, when things don't work out, there's nothing there to kind of support for what that is. If it dies, very quickly it drops off. Very quickly the attention is gone, the knowledge, the pool of people, they might be still around, but it's not the same.
You talked earlier to some of the young delegates here about fear quite a bit, and not to be afraid of taking action or...
Yeah, there's too many people that are going to knock you, and they're going to take digs. They're going to be backhanded. They're going to be sly. You're going to fear everything at one point or another. The thing is, if you have an ultimate goal, you need to try and realise that. the other side of it is the biggest fear is actually this isn't going to work. That's even bigger, you know, because to fight the fear and actually build something is one thing, but to have to say enough, it's a very different, there's a different side of fear.
How do you feel about the future, both for yourself and for Ireland?
We need to make more jobs. You know, it's ultimately that's what it is. You know, people rebuild countries. You know, governments don't, but the people of a country rebuild it. And you know, we've got great companies coming in, big tech giants. You know, what are they doing? Where's the research and development? Where's the innovation coming from Ireland? And there's some amazing businesses and people doing that at the moment. Who are really trying to push Ireland's brand and make stuff that is homegrown. You know, we used to manufacture, we used to build. That all shifts in economies.
But do you think like there needs to be more focus ultimately on homegrown indigenous innovation,
absolutely,
rather than relying on Silicon Valley to solve our problems?
It's a nice shiny apple. You know, there's no denying it. You look at the big figures that they throw up and that, and ultimately, what do we get out of it? You know, who is it that's getting the jobs? Who is it that's able to benefit from this? Ultimately, is an incumbent government, you know, making good on promises that they said, and we've done this and we've increased that. You know, we're sending our youth away. You know, unemployment is rife, jobs aren't there. We're in not the greatest situation.
You're not tempted to kind of up stakes, go to California, all that kind of stuff?
No. I sat in a room after it all failed, and I stared at a wall for 6 months plus. You know, and I think that would be a waste. You know, I love my country, and when you leave a business and it dies, you need to build it back up and fix, you know, a lot of what may have gone wrong. So that's ultimately what it is: to build something again and then go and make it right.
So, any advice for particularly young people or people of any age really that are sitting on an idea, have a dream, want to make it happen? Test
it, talk to people, and don't be afraid of your idea being stolen, because execution is the key. It's never going to get anywhere. Like, there's plenty of ideas out there. A hoverboard, you know, flying cars, a better house. Everything is just a version of something else. And if you think that you can add value to that and build on it, absolutely go for it.